It's been another month since the last devlog update, and I've made a lot of changes. In fact, I've pretty much changed the entire layout of the entire game. So let me show you what the new stuff is. As always, the menu hasn't changed at all. It is still the exact same one from back when I first created it, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and get started, and you can see that all things seems relatively similar. The angle might look different. I think it was now angled higher up, and it is further away still compared to even the last time where I increased it and pulled it back. Probably won't do that again. I think this one's good, but around in here is where we now have it. You might see there's the minimap. In the past, it has not worked. Well, now, if I load into this left one, which is the start game versus the right one where we have the power-ups just as before, if we go into the left one, you can see it loads in, and we have a mini-map. So the mini-map is finally in, it is finally working, and you can see things are a little bit different. So we start here at our starting location, and as before, we can go wherever we want. But you might notice that the actual rooms and everything are considerably bigger. Now, you also have these walls that move up and down as you kind of walk around, and only the ones next to you kind of move up and down. The ones in the back you see are stationary, but now we can go wherever you want. And when we go inside of a room, let's say in this room, all the mobs spawn in, the walls close in, even though that is a wall that is down right here, I cannot actually go down into it. The other thing that I've changed is all of the mobs have jump attacks. I'm pretty sure that's new from last time. No more are these attacks out of nowhere. You now have a chance of evading them with just a dodge. You don't actually need to block if you didn't want to. Block is still, of course, there. And the health and everything on the mobs has been adjusted as well to be more reasonable. So as before, we can go through this place, go ahead and beat them. There's still a few bugs, like for example, I shouldn't have taken damage there because I was blocking, but so a few things are still need to be adjusted. But we got a card here, which you can still pick up and get ourselves some extra power-ups, as always. Now, 3 of the rooms still have the power-up. You can go wherever you want and fight the boss. You don't have to get the 3 card power-ups if you didn't want to. If you feel like you're just that good, then go ahead, skip them. See if I care. Well, I'll go ahead and grab ourselves a dome shield so we can block attacks from all directions. And then I can go wherever I want. I can go here and load up the next one. So the actual power-ups, there's no new ones from last time. The majority of the time was spent doing these layouts. As you can see, it's far larger of an environment, and the mechanics it's a little bit more fun now to play. So the rooms kind of go down. Oh, there's the boss over there. And we got one of our meta progression items from before. So if I want to, I can go fight the boss. And just like before, when I fight the boss, I can go ahead and afterwards, hopefully, if I kill him, successfully take care of it. Now, it seems like the area underneath the boss is still a little broken there. That is death below. I would not go down there. He's stuck just underneath the ledge. Let me help him out there. There you go. But there you go. Now he's back. And of course, he takes a bit of damage from there, but you know, I did only get 1 power up and 1 that didn't make use of because I'm really bad at blocking. I mean, now died. Go ahead and respawn and try it one more time to see if we can get through this place. Every time, as always, it is a new layout, as you see. And again, we've now entered a new area. Now, these are jump pads, which you might have seen me using. If I press E, I can go ahead and interact with them and take them up or down. Of course, to go down, you don't actually need to interact with them. You could just jump down. You're not forced to use them. This is just for the multi-level rooms to allow you to go up and down quite easily. So of course, down is easy. Just jump down if you'd like. And the other thing is, as I run around, is this orange area here. Now, this area is actually only visible when the room is locked. Now, if I come here, you'll see I will take damage. I took 5 damage, then 10 damage, and then you'll continue to take more and more damage the longer it is. So think of it as kind of a lava area, potentially. Basically, it's an area where the longer you stay in there, the more damage you will take. And that's the same thing is for the enemies. As you can see, the AI went in there and has died. Now, I'm still working on getting the AI to kind of avoid the area entirely, but it is what it is. And when you clear the room, as you can see, the area entirely disappears and everything falls. So watch out that you do not kill something on that platform when it drops. At the current moment, I don't have an air jump, for example. So if you're falling, you cannot jump. It is probably something I'm going to add in down the line, but Just keep that in mind. Also, right now, it is very easy to go down, of course, because you just fall down into any room you want. It's not easy to get back up. The plan is to add some abilities like a super jump to be able to go up higher, as well as maybe an item that allows you to drop somewhere and then teleport back to that location when a room's cleared if you wish to use it as an activated item. The activated items aren't in yet. I'm just trying to let you guys know of the things that I have thought of and I'm planning to implement in the future. But as before, we can go ahead and continue on. And you can see in the minimap, I've actually missed I missed my item, and in the minimap, you can see the chest icon for that shard right over there. Now, I don't have to pick it up if I don't want to. I can leave them. Of course, it is entirely up to you. I believe there is still a slight issue of the shards saving when you die. I believe they save successfully when you kill the area boss. If you want to save your progression, make sure to kill the first boss. And there's still a slight bug with him. When the spider goes and charges you, it still occasionally will crash the game. I still haven't figured out why that is. There we go. Let's leave the lava damage to take care of him. Also, another thing I've changed is you now have a dash cooldown. The dash only can be used once a second when you're inside of a level that is activated. So right now, the level is activated, and I can only dash once a second. So you can still block as much as you want, but the dashing part is limited. Now, this is, of course, only during the actual running of the room. So if I go ahead and clear this room out, you'll see I'll be able to maneuver quite a bit faster. So there we go. I've cleared the room. And now if I dash, you can see I can dash really quickly to maneuver around. So you can kind of speed run these rooms when they're unlocked. So when you see the walls are down, if you want, go ahead and just dash across. Now keep in mind, you still can fall out of the map, but it is of course a lot safer now. As before, you go in the room, as you see the floor here loads in. Now, the way it works is, you see, I've run through it without taking damage. Effectively, the way it's set up is every second that you're in it, you will take a hit of damage if you're still in it at that point. So if I can go in here for 0.99 seconds and then jump out, I will not actually take the full amount of damage. Now that guy's about to die because he stayed in there for too long. And if I jump, I will take damage on landing, basically. Because I've now been there for a second, the damage should calculate, but it's waiting to make sure that I have landed inside of the lava still. Because if I have been there for almost a full second, but I have now jumped out of it before the damage could be done, it needs to make sure, okay, you're right, you're out of the lava, we should not do the damage. But if you go back into it, the timer's still going, so it will do the damage. And now that's a whole lot different. It's a lot more easy to navigate with the enemies because of the actual delay. So right when these guys attack me, there's a wind up, which makes just dodging quite simple. Now, at the current moment, it's still 2 enemies can attack me at any time, but it's possible I will increase that number now since we can actually just go ahead and dodge. Now, keep in mind, you still need to have a limited amount of dodges, so you should probably start using blocks, just like, well, I don't, but you should probably use blocks. And also, when you clear a level, you might think, okay, well, right now, we don't really have difficulty scaling. The difficulty of the enemies will scale with the levels right now. And it's not going to scale in damage. It's going to scale in their health. So every level that you go down, they're going to get more and more health. So while yes, you technically could clear everything and just block and dodge everything and not take any damage effectively and beat the entire 3 levels without taking a single power up, it's probably beneficial to take some because the further down you go, you might want to do a little more damage. Or at the very least, have some extra survivability. As always, I am making this available on my Patreon where you can join these wonderful people here and supporting what I do. So if this does look interesting and you do want to support me, you can grab it there. And if you'd like to join the community, the link to the Discord will be down below, as always. Thank you again to my Patreon. Let's get back to it. Now, the other thing I've done is I've rebalanced this projectile attack. So now this does the same amount of damage as the actual weapon. So if you want to, you can go ahead and use the projectile attack in this actual environment. So you can come here and shoot these guys. And a few of the power-ups, right, are kind of projectile based. So either you get the air blades power-up for the melee, which you can also get for the projectile version. All the air blades does when you have a projectile is it converts it basically to the same attack type. What that means is effectively that the projectile is a larger hitbox, so it is still a benefit to using as a projectile based weapon. Now, it is hard to actually hit these guys with a projectile when using mouse and keyboard. It's probably going to be easier if you use a controller. But unfortunately, these guys right here are not set up with controller. I've not configured everything to use controller as of yet, so something to keep in mind as you try this out. But here we go. Run around, run around. I still need to rebalance that attack because it is still way too strong. I probably am going to make it so only one large circle appears, or maybe 2 or 3 at most. But right now, it's just too many of them that you have to run around for too long, I think. But I see this is still quite a difficult adventure at the current moment, but that's mostly because I'm really bad about using block. But that's kind of the big update for this past month. The environment has completely changed. It is now considerably bigger. It has a little bit of scaling, has some AI improvements, and in general, I think it's a lot more fun, and I hope you guys do too. Now, as I've been making stuff for this game, I've also been making a few tools. And if you are curious in some tools that I'm using to actually improve my workflow with this game, check out this video right here where I show you just that.